Thank you for joining us today. My name's Nick Snowden, and today we are going to look at the I don't think that the slides are progressing. Nope. Oh yes, eventually. No, it's catching up. Yeah, so we're going to look at the program, talk a little bit about the quality of the program and the support that's available. We're going to dig into that, or Gillian's going to dig into that a little bit in more depth once this introduction is completed. But before I hand over, I'll also just mention about the mechanics of joining the program. So then, to begin with, the program itself, we are, well, you're actually one of the first, or your group will be one of the first beneficiaries of a review of the program, part of which involves looking again at our vision, mission, and introducing purpose statements, which I'm sure you'll have seen before. It's not unique to us, but it does capture what we see as being fundamentally important to our program, and that is that you, as our students, as our learners, do well. You do well, but by doing good. And what we mean is that the MBA at Bradford is not just about advancing your career and helping you make more money for your organization. It's about doing it in a way that, as you can see from the vision statement, it's about being inclusive. It's about being sustainable in every sense of the word. We're not just talking about net zero or carbon reduction. We're talking about the impact that you as leaders can have on the communities that you work within, the lives of the people that are affected by your actions and your organization, and the planet. So it's certainly triple P as the focus, the purpose of the program, to impact on that. So what do we offer? Well, essentially there are, I suppose, three programs. There's the Executive MBA, which runs currently in Dubai, and then there is the distance learning program, where we have the general version, where there are lots of options, and covers. It does everything that an MBA should do. Our accreditations are testament to that. But we also have a specialist MBA in innovation, enterprise, and circular economy. They share a lot of modules, share a lot of common ground. They have to do. They're both MBAs. The circular economy version has a focus on sustainability and sort of green economy type topic, more so than the general management options that you can take. A little bit more about that later. Some key facts. Nothing particularly surprising there. The average age, and it is an average, averages can hide a lot, but average work experience there of 12 years of our candidates, our students, but that, we have students who have been in business for 20, 30 years, and we have applicants who are very early on in their leadership career, and everybody is welcome, everybody fit, assuming you meet the entry criteria, obviously. 4 start points throughout the year. As you can see, you're coming up to the April entry point, and you join a carousel, again, as will become evident a little bit later. So you'll join groups of like-minded people, eager to learn, eager to share, eager to network, and a huge range of industries and backgrounds that you can learn from and contribute to. You can switch between modes. You can switch between distance learning and the face-to-face versions, some of which will be coming to Bradford very soon. But there are limits on that. But certainly, all the electives will be swappable, if you like. We are right in the middle of refreshing the program. As I said, you'll be probably the first group or to benefit from the your entry onto the program. The key themes that we are focusing on align with the areas of speciality within the School of Management at Bradford. So we have specialisms in applied AI, entrepreneurship, and sustainability. So clearly, we already have those the named pathway for students that are interested in sustainability. You don't have to take the pathway to focus on those modules, and you can mix those modules with pathways from any of the other modules. Same for applied AI, same for entrepreneurship. But these are the themes that the program it has focused on particularly for the elective modules, the modules that you choose to take after you've done these. So these are the core modules. These are the modules that basically do what it says on the tin. An MBA has to do what it says on the tin. It has to give you a foundation in economics, accounting, decision making, marketing, technology management, leading, and organizing change. So all the fundamentals are delivered within these core modules. And when you join, you will, the hope is that you will join in April, and you'll join cohorts that already exist or partway through their study. Some have taken all 3 modules, all 3 other core modules, but then also some of the people you'll join will only have taken 1. So they can you can join July, October, January, or April, and you come together in a big group. And the benefit of that is the networking that you get from the people who've already on the course. They'll help you with some of the engagement activities that you will need to take part in. But generally, you build an active network through this process. If you were to take the circular economy route, that July module has to be the circular economy core principles module. That's the condition of that particular route. So you can take the general MBA and still take circular economy modules, but your certificate at the end of the period of learning will be the general MBA, the standard MBA title. If you want circular economy on your certificate, then you have to take the circular economy route. Hope that's clear. So after that, after you've completed the core modules, you have a significant range of electives. This is increasing in the new version of the MBA that's going to be launched. By the time you get to elective, that list will be increased. You will have probably, we hope, more red modules like the one in red. The one in red is in red because it's different. It's not delivered by us. It's delivered by a partner in Toulouse, in France. And that's a week-long program. And we're in partnership with other AMBER accredited business schools who we will exchange students with on a similar basis. So you can take a module either in person, overseas, and that might be in, as I say, in Toulouse, where it's a week-long program. You can take these electives as online. You can potentially take them in Dubai, face-to-face. And as I said, there will be additional options added to that. So by the time you get to the stage where you're selecting electives. So that's the core of the program. I just want to say briefly a little bit about the learning environment through which most of this program is delivered. Canvas. Jill's going to show you a bit more of that a little bit later on. But essentially, it's a virtual learning environment, VLE, the materials, the book, the guidance for each module are all presented through the really accessible Canvas site, VLE site. And on there will be the link to the taught sessions, and the taught sessions are on use Teams. So there'll be a link to a Teams meeting as you go through the module. There is a capstone piece of work at the end of the MBA, and that's the management project. And that's a longer piece of work where you have the opportunity to go into a bit more depth, significantly more depth, really, on a topic of your choice. You're allocated a supervisor, and they take you through, they guide you on the process of whatever it is you've chosen to study. And, we help you with that. We guide you in terms of choice of content and how to research it. But that's both, it's been described both as the best and worst of the MBA. People find it quite stressful in some ways because you're in charge, and it's fully in charge of what your topic is, but the most rewarding part of it, almost for the same reason. So that sort of mechanics of the program, I want to say a little bit about the quality of the program, and this is very much hot off the press. Hopefully, if you receive notifications from the university or from the FC, you may have seen this already, where we were ranked in the Financial Times survey of online MBAs as first in the world for value for money, first in the world for ESG, and net zero teaching, and first in the UK, fourth in the world, in the ranking, I should say, for overall satisfaction. So really pleased with that performance. It absolutely highlights what we think is important, and it's nice when that is reflected in the judgment of independent assessors, I guess, in terms of people from the Financial Times, but also that is taken from the views of people who have done the program. It's taken from our alumni, it's not just fictional. So it's a good quality program as judged by the FT. You can also infer from our Triple Crown status that we are not just a good quality, top quality, world-class program. We're also a world-class school. So EQUIS and AACSB are school level quality marks. Amber is particularly about the MBA. And when you have all three, that really puts you in the area of exclusivity, really. You know, there are about 14,000 business schools in the world. Only about 112, 115 of those are Triple Crown accredited. So we're in the top 1% of business and management schools globally, which, again, is a sign of quality. As was our recognition as being Business School of the Year 3 years ago now. But, you know, that should leave you in no doubt, hopefully, that we are a quality school with a quality, high quality program, suite of programs, in effect, that is delivered by the School of Management at Bradford. We have excellent links in industry, and just a few names there from organizations that we've worked with in the past. You know, that list is being refreshed and growing all the time. So you can be confident that if you join the Bradford MBA, you are joining a program that's credible, that is recognized for its quality, and will deliver what it says on the tin. So that hopefully reassures you if you any doubt on that front. Quick word now about support and development. There's lots and lots of activities that go on within the school and within the MBA that feed into your experience as a student while you're with us. So, you know, if you struggle with, you know, lots of people that come on for the MBA have not been in education for quite some time. And so the academic skills advice service is really useful. You know, it's not giving you the sort of skills that you maybe not used in a while in terms of essay writing, presentation skills, critical analysis, that kind of thing, which we expect on the program, but might be a bit rusty in some cases. Careers development, I won't say much about that because Gillian will, I'm sure, but really highly appreciated part of the offer that we have with the MBA. And alumni services, again, really important. We this is not transaction with you. This is a relationship with you. When we recruit you as students, we want you to stay with us for life, and the alumni services are our route to doing that. And they have loads of events. There's lots of services that they offer, and keep you connected, informed, and so on through the rest of your career, not just through your time as a student with us. And networking is something that is also part of this sort of support service, and there are, again, many opportunities to network. Top of the list there, the MBA Summit, which should be very welcome to join us at 17th and 18th of May this year. We're just finalising the programme now, but lots of great networking activities, continuous professional development activities, and training that we're going to be carrying out there, and of course interesting and relevant speakers on a range of topics relating to. We're looking this year at how you might create your own legacy. What is it that goes into developing a career that you can look back on and think, yeah, well, I achieved something in my working life that had meaning, had value. So we're looking at that in detail this year. But lots of other ways, lots of other events and activities that you can take part in to share your experience, learn from other people, excuse me, and make connections, which we know is an important part of an MBA. So a joining program is the final bit of my presentation, and you probably already know much of this, but the essential details are there. I'm sure that the invitation to this webinar will have had the relevant emails and contact points, but if you haven't, they are all there. And if there's anything else you want to know, the marketing team will be emailing these slides out. They'll have my email address on, and you're very welcome to contact me or anyone else in the MBA team to progress with your application. Hopefully in time for April, we have places available. So that's really about as much as I wanted to say. There will be time for questions at the end. Perhaps it would be more appropriate to deal with those at that point. But stick those questions in the chat on the webinar. I don't see any there at the moment, but feel free to add those in. I'm now going to hand over to Gillian, who's going to talk to you in more detail about the careers offer and the careers service that is such an important part of the MBA experience at Bradford.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Thanks, Jill.
Right. We'll switch organisers. Oops. Hang on a second. Hopefully it's going to work all right. Right. Can you see my screen there? Yeah. Brilliant.
Yes, I can.
Okay. Great. I'm just going to I think I'm just going to minimize myself there actually. Right, okay, good. So I'm just going to move that slightly out of the way, then I can see what's on there. Right, I'll move you over there. Right, okay, everybody. So welcome to the session. Even if you're joining us virtually, you perhaps still get some sense in terms of what Bradford's like, you know. So I'm one of the career consultants at the University of Bradford in our career and employability services, who has a focus on working with our MBA students and also graduates actually. And also my colleague Beverly Thomas is another one of the career consultants who works with our MBA students and graduates. So there are two of us that work quite closely together here. And across the week, we do cover the week between us. So although Beverly and I are both part-time, we do actually work for the 5 days across the week, which is good. If you join us and you ever want to book an appointment to see a career consultant, then we are available between us 5 days a week. So that's a benefit of working together there. Okay, so Nick's already shown you the front page of our Canvas virtual learning environment, and we're very lucky to have a good chunk of that which is devoted to careers. So instead of putting slides up, I thought I would actually show you our Canvas careers site, because really that tells you everything that you need to know in terms of what we can offer you from our service. There is initially a very short video that my colleague Beverly's put together, and that just gives a very kind of quick few-minute insight into our service. So that's quite useful to have a look at when you join us. But also we've got a long list of things here that we can offer to you as an MBA student and also graduate. And I'll mention the graduate element of our work in a few minutes as well. So we offer a whole series of webinars on quite a wide range of topics. Anything from basically, you know, leveraging my MBA is a very popular one, which helps you to think about the value of your MBA and how you might sell that to a potential employer, to sessions around career choice and how you make quite often a change of career is quite a popular reason why many of our students come to do the MBA. They want a change in career direction. So one of our workshop focuses on that. And then at the other end of the scale, you're thinking more about actually applying for jobs, you know, so it's getting together a good executive level CV, preparing for, you know, quite high level interviews and assessment centres, and possibly having to renegotiate a salary. So we cover all of those topics as part of our webinar programme. And quite often what happens is students and graduates that attend that programme then would like to follow it up with a one-to-one appointment. So that's quite a good way to do it, is really come along to one of the workshops, and then you can book into one of our MBA careers appointments. So again, I said they're available 5 days a week, and as with any of our appointments for our other students and graduates, you can do those remotely, you can do them in person. If you're an MBA student that is going to be locally, living locally and attending locally, then you can do them in person, or we can offer them via email and phone as well. So there's lots of ways that you can actually access your one-to-one appointment, just to sort of point that one out really. Yeah, so there's a webinar program, and then there's the appointments as well that you can book those. Careers appointments last up to 45 minutes, so that's usually plenty of time to listen to you and discuss your issue. But many of our students will actually come to see us more than once, and that's encouraged, and that's absolutely fine. I mentioned briefly that we offer a continuing service to our graduate MBA students, so you can continue to use our service 5 years after you've graduated, up to 5 years after you've graduated. So that's quite a significant period of time. So that's something, again, our graduates have appreciated. We get lots of questions about resources. And it's a big part of our role is to actually refer you to some specialist resources for MBA students. So I think Nick mentioned this briefly. So we provide you with links to AMBER, which is the professional body of MBA graduates and students, and they have some really great careers resources on their website. So they might, for example, give you examples of executive level CVs, access to companies who employ MBA graduates. So you'd find that particular website really helpful. But there's other websites as well that again we give you access to. There's one which is called Going Global. So you know, many of our MBA students are interested in working internationally and are very interested in finding out about careers in lots of different countries. So Going Global is a really good resource for that. And we have other resources as well. I'll just sort of point these out to you. The MBA Exchange is another resource that you can access again to find out about opportunities in different countries that are specifically looking for MBA graduates. And this is one of the webinars that we actually run. I think we do that one twice a year actually, and that's really useful. It just gives you a tour of that site and how to access the Director of Employers. So those are really useful resources that are very specific for MBA students. Okay, other things that we again can help you with is giving you feedback on your CV. So this is something we get asked a lot about. This as well. You know, my CV has to change now because I'm changing career direction, and I'd like to get some feedback on my CV. And we can also do that in terms of an actual. So if you're looking at a specific vacancy, we can look at a vacancy with you, and we can discuss to what extent that CV would fit that vacancy. Similarly, if you've got an interview coming up for a job, then again we can book you into one of our practice interviews, and you can actually practice some questions that you think are likely to come up for that particular interview and get instant feedback on how you've answered them. So these are all really popular topics that our MBA students and graduates will come to see us about, you know. So that's worth being aware of, I think. Other things, I'll just scroll down a little bit further actually. Yeah, so each time we have a webinar coming up, we'll actually put an announcement up here on Canvas. As you can see, we've got one coming up around the subject of salary negotiation that my colleague Beverly Thomas will be doing, and all of the webinars are actually available through MS Teams, so you'll get the Teams link there. And as you can see, we offer them twice as well. So we're trying to capture really as many people as possible being aware of our international community. So as you can see, we offer it at 12 to 1 UK time and also 6 to 7 UK time. Obviously that's a PM there. So it's just, you know, it's just a useful way of you saying, well, actually, if I can't make the first session, I can get to the second one. We also record all of those webinars as well. So again, if you're not able to attend any of them, then you will actually get access to the recording of it after the session. So lots of opportunities for you to access our webinars there. Okay. Yeah, and just to point out, I've mentioned a couple of the very specific MBA resources up here to Amber and MBA Exchange, but as you can see, we've got a very broad range of other resources. So some of you may find that you're having to do some psychometric tests or online tests as part of the selection process, and we have lots of examples here of free practice tests that you can have a go at just to get the feel of what these tests feel like and areas that you might need to work on. So you'll find those very useful. General job search websites, so as well as the MBA specific ones, there's lots and lots of broad sites that you could access and that you can find useful as well. So we give you a list of those. We have lots of MBA students and graduates that are interested in going into consulting as a career. So we have a specialist range of resources just on that area of careers. And again, one of our webinars is actually focused on getting into consulting as a career option. So you'll find that useful. LinkedIn is a really popular tool to use. You know, it's the professional person's Facebook, I always say, so it's a great way of networking. And again, there's lots of resources to help you put together your LinkedIn profile. And actually, you can also book appointments to get feedback on your LinkedIn profile as well. You know, you could book a career appointment for that. Some of our MBA students and graduates are interested in starting their own business as a new way forward, a new direction for them. And again, there's lots of nice resources in that area of activity. and also on non-executive director resource. Again, we've got some specialist resources on there, and we also get visiting speakers that will come and do a talk on that subject as well, which have been very popular actually. Okay. Yeah, other activities that you might be interested in getting involved in, you might simply have an interest in this area, or you might just think, actually, it's something else to put on my CV. It's something a little bit different that will help me to develop another set of skills. So we have a mentoring program here, which is called the Bradford Mentoring Program, and you can actually apply to join this as a mentee. So to be matched with a professional mentor yourself, or you could be a mentor to one of our current students. So either way, there are benefits either way from being part of this program. So that's something that you could be involved in. International opportunities, again, you might be interested in looking at international opportunities outside of the UK. And we have a very well-developed program of these that is run by our team here that is actually based in our career and employability services. So this might be something that you might be interested in. You know, it could be that you know, obtain some funding to go to a university outside of the UK, which could help you with your project, for example. You know, that could give you some useful research and resources for your project. So lots of ways that you could benefit from accessing the range of international opportunities here. And the other activity that I should mention is our School of Management's Career Booster Programme. So you are very welcome to join this, which runs every year, and it's a very broad programme of career-related sessions. And there are also some more specialist sessions which are mentioned down here on SAGE, for example, negotiation skills. That again, some MBA students are particularly attracted to those, but you're very welcome to come along to any of those sessions, or as many of the sessions as you wish, really. So that's the Career Booster Programme. So I would say that that's probably it in a nutshell in terms of what we offer you from our career and employability service. And quite happy to take questions at the end if you have any questions. Just want to thank you very much for listening. Thank you. Okay, and I'll stop showing my screen there.
Okay. Beverly, that's very useful.
Okay, is that stopped showing now? I think I'll put this back on my main screen now. Okay, good. Right, thank you.
So we're into questions time now, and while we're waiting for those to come through, you reminded me, Beverly, something that I didn't. Sorry, sorry, Beverly, Gillian.
It's okay. We're interchangeable. It's fine.
I meant to mention about the timing of our sessions, of the online sessions.
Yes.
And the way it works with, we address the same problem as yourselves in that, that we're very much a global audience. And so we have every session of teaching is repeated. Every session is recorded. So if you do actually miss a session, it is recorded. But we have one live session that will take round about 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning UK time, and we'll have it repeated on a different day at round about 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And the other thing is, one of those sessions will be on a weekday, and one of those sessions will be on a weekend. So we make it as accessible as possible. Yeah. We have we do have a minimum attendance requirement. We expect people will be there for 70% of the live sessions. But and if there's a problem with that, then obviously we get in touch, and or you can let us know if there's going to be a problem. And if you let us know, then that you can't make something, that's fine. But it is we are It's intended to be and is an interactive program. You engage with the tutor, you engage with your peers, and to do that, ideally, that's done synchronously, in real time, and not via email. Not that we can do that, but it's better live and media. So we got any questions?
I think we've got 3 questions, haven't we, so far? Just watching it appear in the little box there. Oh, 4 now.
Okay. I'm just working out how I can see those.
Is it under the dashboard?
Okay.
If you
Right. Yes.
go on the dashboard. Yeah, it's there.
So I can see one at the moment, which is how many hours studying and classes does it take weekly? So there will be just one class per week, as I've just explained. It will be repeated. To be fair, it varies, because not all modules are delivered in exactly the same way. But typically, you would get a 2-hour session once a week, and the expectation is that you attend. For the sake of argument, you might attend on a Tuesday at 9 o'clock. If you got UK time, if you can't make that, there will be a session on either Saturday or Sunday at 3 o'clock. We do not teach on Mondays, and the reason that's actually based on feedback from students who, when you get in on a Monday morning, you find all the emails that have arrived and need dealing with on a Monday. So it seems to be a really busy day. But we don't do it. We don't teach on Monday. In terms of total contact time, total contact time over the year is a minimum of over the program is 120 hours of synchronous teaching, doing the sort of thing that we're doing now, really, and that is a minimum. To be perfectly honest, people like it, so there are more opportunities to spend more time online. As I said, you can take some of the elective modules you can take in person, and as I said, you're welcome to come to the MBA Summit, where there's your CPD, etc. there. So it's a long-winded way of saying that there's a couple, typically 2 hours every week would be face-to-face, would be live, not in person, obviously. And then you'd be expected to spend up to another 8 hours of reading, preparation, research, maybe working on your assignments and that sort of thing. Now that's an average, and you wouldn't be expected to do that every week. On the new design of the program, there is a gap. There's a month off between modules, and so you do get a chance to sort of rest and recover if you want it, and so that gives you a break from studying. You come back refreshed, and then away you go again. So that hopefully answers that question. Is there any way to complete the distance MBA in less than 4 semesters? Depends what you mean by 4 semesters. If you mean I know semester is technically half a year, but we have in reality we have 3. We teach all the year round. We don't have a summer break on the MBA, and we have 4 sessions. You can potentially complete your MBA with us online in 2 years. Potentially, you could complete it in less than that if you wanted. If you were able to complete your management project in short time, it wouldn't be awarded until after 2 years, but you could complete the work that you had to do more quickly than that. This is not. It's not an easy act, you know. It is a full master's program. To do this in less than 2 years part-time, you're effectively saying that you could do a full-time education course alongside a full-time job, which most people have on the program. And that you know, we wouldn't want to be paying your medical bills, shall we say, if you were having that level of intensity. And yes, there are programs that offer that, online programs that offer that. They will not be AMBER accredited. They will take a very different approach to the approach that we take. They'll be hands-off. You won't get the level of interaction, and frankly, they're not. They're more about the piece of paper than they are about the learning. We are very much about equipping you for the rest of your career, not just about getting a piece of not just about getting a certificate. You'll get that, but you will get the skills, the change in the way that you think. That's the most striking thing that we get as feedback from our students, is that when they reflect on what they've done when they graduate and you talk to them, and they say, you know, it's about that the biggest benefit is the change in the way that they think. Which is really nice. It's what we hope for. So yeah, that's for some reason I'm not able to see out all of the questions. There's I'm an English native but left Australia in 4th grade and only have school and university certificates from Germany. Does that mean it's probably not. We'd need to look at your application carefully to see, if you were taught in English, then that is usually enough to satisfy that part of the requirement for entry onto the program. I'm trying to answer all these questions. I think I'm probably answering them in reverse order. If you've got any other questions, please type them in. I don't know to say. Okay, is that, Gillian? You probably see better than me. I think that's as many questions as there were. Are there any more?
Yeah, I'm just having a look now. Yeah, we've had one is about when do the classes take place for the distance learning program for people who've got full or half-time jobs, weekends. I think you've dealt with that one, haven't you? About when things are taught. How many hours of studying? I think you've dealt with that one. How many intakes? That's if one misses the April one. I think you've covered the intakes, haven't you? The different intakes in your presentation.
Yeah, I did. I just, for clarity, if you missed the April intake, you'd be very welcome to join. You know, if you've had an offer, we will always make space for you on the next intake, or you know, we can talk about subsequent intake. We do get that. You know, people have, if you like, saved their place.
And there's a little question about when is the deadline for the April intake? Don't know if you have that in your mind.
I don't have it in my mind. I should have, I believe. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
Can I cut in here, Nick? Is that okay?
Oh, I hope you were still there, Francis.
No, it's fine.
Come to save the day.
No, absolutely. So just to go back to the intakes, we have the next intake is in July this year, and then it's October, January, April, and then July again. With regards to the deadlines for the April intake, we've got an application deadline of the 18th, which is this coming Monday. And then we've got a payment for, you need to make your first payment of tuition fees once an offer's been made by the 25th. There might be a little tiny bit of leeway with regards to the applications for the 18th, but definitely not for the payment on the 25th.
And there is a question about scholarships, actually. Is there any scholarship avenue available, please?
We don't do scholarships. There is a scholarship available. There is a reduction available for alumni, for former students of Bradford. But frankly, you know, if you look at the rankings that I've talked to, you know, we're number one in the world for value for money, and that, you know, we're significantly cheaper. We're 20% cheaper already than the next cheapest in the top 10 programs. We are, you know, we're half the price of many of the others in that list, and you know, value for money is something, it is important to us. This is not something that we take lightly. It's not something that is you know, some sort of cash cow for the organisation, and to deliver it properly, it takes resource, and that figure is set to make sure that we are able to deliver the quality that is expected and deserved, frankly. So again, we know there are cheaper MBAs, and those you sort of need to be aware and conscious of what you're taking cheaper programs for. So let me just, I think I can see all the questions now. Hopefully, there's Adria asked a few questions, and so it is, I think, the timing one, timing of sessions one, address your questions about people who have full-time jobs or part-time jobs. You know, there's a session in the week, a session at the weekend. They're recorded. One's in UK morning, one's in UK evening. One way or another, there is a session that we think will suit you. So what else did we have? We've got that one. Adria, no, the cost is the cost. Actually, it is a good question. Adria asked about the cost of distance learning and does it continue. The price that was on the slide, so it's UK pounds, 19,700 more or less. That's for the complete program. It doesn't matter if you take 2 years or 4 years to complete it. That's the price that you pay. We don't have sort of a penalty or anything like that for going over that period. What you see is what you get, really, and it is for the full program. It's not an annual price.
There's a question about the English proficiency test. I don't know whether you can see that one, Nick. It says, do you require an English proficiency test, and what is the mark? Presumably the pass mark for that one.
Yeah, so we look for IELTS 6.0 or equivalent, basically. The Neil would be able to go through the specifics of that in more detail, and I can certainly, if I can find the right page, tell you what that says in specifics in terms of IELTS, because it does say, here we are. So it's 3 years postgraduate work experience, and oh, I've lost it. Where's it gone? It is yeah. If English is not, if it is your first language, then you don't need to take IELTS or anything like that. But it is the if it's not your first language, you needed a satisfactory approved English language test. So that's and as I say, I think it's average of 6.0. So any more? What else have we got?
I can't see any more. I can't see any more questions. I'm just sort of scrolling up and down there.
All that sort of detail will be confirmed, obviously, when you get your offer and is on the application form. If you want a one-to-one discussion with myself or one of the other people involved with the program, just let Ali or Rohit know that your contact from the marketing department or Francis, and we can set that up. But yeah, we'd be happy to chat, happy to welcome you to the program. Unless there are any other questions, then I think we can probably call it a day there. So is there a list of contacts with us? Yeah. Thanks, Vincent. The marketing team. Everyone will get a follow-up on today's session, and there'll be the relevant contact details in there. Okay. So if there's nothing else, I'll just thank you for attending. I hope you've found it useful and informative. And if you stop, reflect, and you think, oh, I wish I'd asked about something else, then feel free to get back in touch via the marketing team. They'll contact us or direct you once you get the email from with the slides on. Okay.
Great, thank you very much. Thanks.
Great.
Nice to have everyone attending. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thank you. And thanks to everyone for joining, and hopefully we'll see you soon.
Yeah, Thank you. Bye-bye for now. Bye-bye.